welcome to the show. I hope you saw that and enjoyed that brief clip. Not perfect, but it was the introduction to our Bond-related show. Now, of course, we're not going to be really doing James Bond, although my backdrop is reminiscent of one of the Bond movies. And so we thought we'd have a little bit of fun and do some bit of Bond-related stuff. And we have quite a busy show today. And of course, we're not really going to be talking about James Bond in this story, but you just had to do something.
Yeah, 007 episode on the 7th of April. It just kind of seemed, apropos.
It just seemed to be part.
So let's get into it today, Peter. We've got a lot of intel to get to, and also we'll be going over humanitarian projects. We have a nice PowerPoint presentation to go through a little bit later on in the show to show you how to actually put together your humanitarian projects in a PowerPoint format, or just have a few pages put together. So Peter, go ahead. Let's get into it, sir.
I need a couple of moments because I'm still setting something up.
All right, everybody wave hi.
Wave hi.
Everybody wave hi. Love to see your smiling faces, of course.
Yes,
right?
That's right. And remember, it's Bond, Zim Bond.
Oh, today. Just a little housekeeping thing. Okay. So if you need to change your name in your thing, click on your picture. Okay. And up in the upper right-hand corner of the picture, you'll see 3 dots. And it will allow you in that menu there, you'll see rename. So if you have just a generic name like iPhone or something of that nature, you can rename yourself so we can call you out by name instead of iPhone or Zoom user or something like that. Okay.
That's
just
right.
A little housekeeping note.
So I've just renamed myself.
There you go, Bond, Zim Bond. There you go. All right. What do we got? What do we got for the people today?
So yes, now my notes seem to have disappeared. 1 second. I think I've got them here. So
we were joking around with the names and everything. I thought I should be Zim Bond and he should be Q. Because he's the one with all the intel on all the gadgets.
Yeah. Well, we can still do that,
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I am someone who is a bit of a gadget guy, so gadgets are sort of my thing.
That's right. And I destroy the gadgets when I get them.
You destroy them, yes, yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's what Bond does.
That's what Bond does,
So who's Moneypenny?
I don't know. We're going to have to figure out who Moneypenny is here today. We'll have to designate somebody. Somebody rename themselves as Moneypenny, if you would, please. Not everybody, just 1 or 2. Okay.
We'll get 100 Moneypennies if we're not careful.
Exactly.
And who are the glamorous Bond girls? That's who
That's
I'd
right.
like to know.
You got to rename yourself.
Yeah.
Be careful with the names, though. Okay.
That's right.
We don't want to go back to the Goldfinger stuff. All right.
My backdrop is, I think, from Dr. No. I'm not quite sure, but I think it's Dr. No, which this was seen in this particular background.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, they had some very provocative names in the Bond series.
Yeah, Pussy Galore, for example.
Pussy Galore and Honey Rider and what was her name? Onatop. In GoldenEye.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they wouldn't be allowed to do that these days, but
they get away with it though.
They got away with it.
It's a Bond thing,
Everybody knows that Bond is a little bit sort of glamorous and things like that. So yes, they could get away with things, and so I think we're going to have a fun episode today.
Oh yeah.
And there should be some bondage here.
Yeah, exactly. Bonding, not bondage. Okay, bonding.
Right. Okay,
bonding.
Yes. Bonding.
Bonding. Not bondage, but bonding. We're
thought
coming
Bond
out of
was bonding
bondage.
people.
We
Yeah.
are coming out of bondage into bonding.
All right.
That's what this is all about. So
Okay, right. So let me continue on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
that's right. The intel, please, sir.
The intel, right? Okay, actually, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, I'm not quite sure if that quite matches.
Yeah, well, let's. Yeah, Her Majesty's dead. Okay, so we're just waiting for the official.
We're just waiting for the official announcement. Yes.
Right. Exactly.
So right, let's try and get a bit serious in this show. I know it's difficult.
Right. I know.
Global currency reset. Let's start with that. I'm actually going to do a relatively short intel today. Yesterday, on Wednesday the 6th of April, bondholders were in meetings regarding pending liquidity. This is according to MarkZ, or I would call him as MarkZ. But you Americans, you've sort of cannibalized the language. It was rumored that adjudicated settlements, fines and penalties, CMKX, prosperity packages and farm claims have already been initiated. It appeared imminent for Tier 4B, us the Internet Group, to be notified and make exchange Zim Bond redemption appointments. Right, so that's the first part. The next part is a quote from Holly. The latest news is that something happened yesterday and it can't be undone. So that is a very good sign. We are making progress and moving forward. Many are gagged, but all are excited. Now, gagged means not that something has been put over their mouth, but in a figurative way, they have an NDA. In other words, they know something and they're not allowed to talk about it, just to avoid confusion. We definitely are getting word of people being called on prosperity and F&Ps, whatever that is. Stay the course, everyone. Keep the faith, and together we will get there. And then I've got the Minister of Agriculture of China said that the harvest of winter wheat in China could be the worst in history. So we've got a bad harvest in America because the government was telling the farmers to destroy their crops. Let me get rid of this in a second. Then we have the in Europe, they're trying to do something similar. So we could have a bad harvest in Europe. And now China has a bad harvest. I think food is going to be a major issue. We've discussed this before. So when you get money, buy food. That's the first thing you have to do. In the US, we were warned that the winter wheat harvest would be catastrophic due to severe drought. During a recent interview, a well-known American farmer said that most Americans would not like it when your grocery bill exceeds $1,000 a month. The head of the United Nations World Food Programme says that what the planet is facing now is unlike anything we have seen since the Second World War. So just because there's food in the shops now, although even in Germany where I am, food supply, they are starting some rationing and putting prices up. But you haven't seen nothing yet. It's something we all have to take seriously. Then let's move on to the printout versions. Apparently, we have a much bigger problem with President Biden than his memory loss and embarrassing public mumblings, and they are pretty embarrassing sometimes. I don't know if you saw that, but there was recently, there's a clip which I put onto the Telegram group where he said that he was the vice president of Obama. Well, he's probably right there, actually. That he's just president in name only. So where was I? It seems to have all started in 2005 when the then Senator Barack Obama helped sign a Ukraine-US bioweapon lab agreement, where Obama was said to have received his share of the lucrative biolab pie. 12 years later, by February the 20th, 2017, Julian Assange unveiled a bombshell on Fox News, Hannity, alleging that Wikileaks had hard proof that former President Barack Hussein Obama, along with his sidekick called Joe Biden, operated and participated in a paedophile ring based in the White House, which they certainly did, as we now know. A leaked email release read, "A young boy, the age of 5, he will make the perfect catamite for the president. He will arrive from Romania on Tuesday. I'm sure the president will be pleased." Isn't it sick? I think if ever we need a secret agent, it's to take out people doing that kind of thing. The leak is bound to start a massive investigation, Assange alleged. That is, if we can get the word out before the news is swallowed up by the Obama shadow government. Well, there wasn't any examination. There wasn't any investigation, was there? Not, at least not then. So let's move to the next page. I don't really like talking too much about this child trafficking because it's just such a nasty topic. So let me skip the rest of that. Yeah, the rest is about basically so let's skip to finally last week. There was evidence found on Biden's son Hunter's laptop, proved it all. Now, there's been some rumors that maybe Biden, Hunter Biden that is, wanted these things to be found to attack his father. Maybe. Because he must have been really stupid to leave and not pick up a notebook with all this incriminating data on it. So Hunter Biden, with help of who he called the big guy, which we now know is, of course, Joe, was funneling US Department of Defense funds to privately owned bioweapons labs in Ukraine, labs that were planning on releasing pathogens to the general public this fall. And a lot of it was designed specifically as a bioweapon against the Russians. And according to the what has been now uncovered on the laptop, Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were linked to all of these biolabs. So, is it any wonder that Biden was pushing for World War III in Ukraine? Yeah, he wants to hide the evidence of a world war. Something had to cover up his foul deeds and focus the Kabul Soros-owned mainstream media somewhere, because what was to happen next would be hard to ignore. Since the start of the Russian siege on Ukraine last month, tens of thousands of tortured and murdered, mainly Asian children, have been rescued. The mutilated bodies of thousands more. It gets nasty here. So let's not go into all the details. I've just heard that they have. The Russians have saved, I think, 35,000 children in Ukraine. Let's not go into too much details because I prefer positive news than stuff like that. So let's move on to the global currency reset. Today, Wednesday, the 6th of April, James Bond holders, well, I added James, were in meetings regarding pending liquidity, according to MarkZ. It was rumored that adjudicated settlements, fines and penalties, prosperity fines and farm claims have already been initiated. It appeared imminent for Tier 4B, us the internet group, to be notified and make exchange bonds of redemption. Now, whenever I hear the word tier something, my language orientated brain kicks in, because there is a German word, Tier, which means animal. So if there's anyone German here, I'm sure they can confirm that the German word Tier means animal, but here it's spelt slightly. Actually, is it spelled differently? Not really, no. But obviously in English, the word Tier does not mean animal. It means sort of level. Just a little, yeah. No, it is spelled. It is spelled exactly like the German word for animal. That's why I keep laughing slightly when I see that word. So, as regard the restored republic, the mass media could be considered the enemy of the people for the fake news they put out and the corruption they refused to investigate. One of which was the Biden crime family. Evidence was found on Biden's son's Hunter laptop, which was basically a step-by-step description of one of the biggest influence peddling schemes in history, involving Hunter and Joe Biden. Well, I think those two are now going to be the hunted. Hunter Biden was funneling US Department of Defense funds to privately owned bioweapons labs in Ukraine, labs that were planning on releasing pathogens on the general public this fall, until Putin stormed the country and took them out, thus creating a war between nations and a war between good and evil. So basically, what I think is going to happen is that this news is going to be somehow released and will be used as a reason to remove Joe Biden as president. That's what I think. I mean, when he's involved in such crimes, I think that would definitely be a reason to remove him as president. Not that he ever really was a president, but we have to take the public perception of this. So, since 2019, the Alliance 17-nation special forces had rescued millions of tortured children from US taxpayer-funded underground dumb tunnel networks around the world. So it looks like the banks are going to need to close down for at least 3 days to handle the transfer to the quantum financial systems transfers. That could happen at any time. Usually they kind of do it over a weekend, so it could be happening this weekend that you cannot access your bank. So if you need funds, it would be wise to get them out of the bank now in cash. We're now 13 days from Christmas, from Easter, sorry, not Christmas, Easter Sunday. So they need 13 days for the thing. It could be happening very soon. They found that billions of Ukraine money has been funneled into Deleware corporations, and these corporations were now coming to a halt and going bankrupt, due to the implosion of the US fiat dollar system. And I think it's high time too. So let me skip over some of this, because there's always more to read than I think needs to be read, because I will put this document with the video, so you can read anything which I'm missing. Election fraud, I don't think we need to go into that. I think you guys know what's... here's something which is close to me. Germany, it is reported that food prices in German supermarkets will soon rise by 20 to 50%. Now, I've been reading this for a couple of days, but to be honest, I haven't been out to supermarkets since I read that, so I don't know if that's true or not. But I was just too busy preparing the show. So I will report back on what I find here locally as regards to food prices, whether they really are going up dramatically and whether we start getting shortages. Spain has also introduced food rationing. Greece, I also hear food rationing has begun. And the pricing for fertilizers, which we use for this year's crops, has been increased by 300%. Well, if that's going to put up food prices, certainly. And if the farmers cannot afford to buy the fertilizers, then there's going to be even less food. Many farmers in Africa will not be able to afford fertilizers at all this year. And that that will reduce agricultural production by the amount capable of feeding 100 million people. As I say, very important. I just hope we get one of these new technologies will replicate the fertilizers and the food and we need, and that this will not be a real issue. But time will tell if that happens. So let's flicking through here. So they have the head of the United Nations World Food Programme says that the planet is facing, what the planet is facing now is unlike anything we have seen since the Second World War. I think we had that earlier. The Q movement is in the middle of a military sting operation, as I'm sure all of you have heard, exposing the crime of the century. And I hope that Zim Bond is helping expose this. Well, oh yes, that's me, Zim Bond. And this is in cooperation with global and political elites, including leaders of the Democratic Party, who use election fraud, treason, and sedition to implant foreign powers in all three branches of the US government, which is, of course, illegal under constitutional law of the USA. So, yeah, I'm going to skip over quite a bit of this because a lot of it is about the kids. Military tribunals are now also being conducted in Guam. Guam is a little island way off the beaten track, which has only recently been converted with Donald Trump's money into a place where they can hold trials.
There's a lot of people that need to be on trial.
As I haven't got headphones on, I heard Felix Leiter say something. What was that?
Yeah, I changed my name since you're British. I said that there's a lot of people that need to go on trial. We need more, more courts, more, things of that nature. But I did change my name to Felix Leiter since you're being Bond. I'm from the US, you're from the UK originally. So
I'm still British, yeah.
So I'm now Felix Leiter.
Okay? Yeah, Felix makes more sense because Felix definitely was an American.
Exactly.
Okay. So we're Bond and Felix today. I can see some of you smiling. That's good. Now even more smiling. Great. So where are we got? Do we have anyone from New Zealand here? Anyone say yes in the chat? No? Nobody. No, okay.
We got a couple of people from Australia. I know that.
We have from Australia, yeah, but I said New Zealand. No, not Australia.
Oh yeah,
They're even more down under than the Australians are.
Yes, David R says he's from New Zealand.
Oh right, okay, right. So we have fine. So New Zealand's dictator PM Jacinda Ardern's fiance has been arrested for money laundering and drug smuggling. Sources close to the investigation have confirmed to George News that Clark Gayford has been in custody for weeks now, pending trial sentencing regarding a massive drug bust that took place in New Zealand. I don't know how important this is to the world affairs, but it was something from New Zealand. We don't see too much from New Zealand.
David said she's a tranny.
So, more about kids. I can't believe how much they're writing about kids here. So the next is a quote from Whiplash 347, who seems to be quite a good source of intel. You know, he's one of the other 00 agents.
Exactly.
He's 00347, I guess. The Obama, CIA, Rothschilds, Rockefeller, Chinese Communist Party, a Europe-controlled regime, have created a perfect storm of lies and deception. The deception controls the news of the COVID-19 narration, climate change, floods, droughts, earthquakes, hurricanes incoming. The death and fear leads to new wars and terrorism. I mean, when you think about it, these people have been involved in all the wars. In fact, just about every war we've had in the last 100 years or maybe longer have been wars on behalf of the bankers.
That's right.
And
I do a deep dive into history.
So that they can screw us even more. About time they got into trouble.
Yeah, I do a deep dive into history every Monday night on my Telegram chat channel.
Ah, right, okay.
And we go over all the conspiracies and whatnot and talk about the big bankers and how they've manipulated both sides.
Watch what Trump says. It's vital in these moments and vital to a world waking up. We knew that for many reasons that they were going to create a war for distraction. The news is fake. The war is real. All events have to happen. In each country, they are experiencing the events. The world must see the darkness. I was actually talking to a member of the forum who wrote to me, and she's not with us today because she said she only got the subscription for recorded webinars, so she'll be catching this on the rerun. So hi to Melanie in Mönchengladbach, which is a town just north of Cologne, who was telling me she lives near the German-Dutch border, and she was saying they were seeing a lot of military movement in that area, and that I thought that was an interesting thing to add.
Well, yeah, we've been seeing military movement all around, you know, here in the Missouri and Illinois area.
So anyway, I've also been hearing from other sources in Germany that there are military all over the place, just waiting to get involved. And this also applies to other countries as well. I think this is a worldwide phenomenon that a lot of the military are sort of in position, waiting for the command to go out and arrest the bad guys. I think this is going to happen faster than we think. So, right, I think I've pretty much covered the major issues. We're still waiting, of course, for the message that we can go out and make our appointments. That can happen anytime. So make sure you keep watching our channels and wherever, because as soon as we hear something, we're obviously going to put it out there. What is going to be happening?
Exactly. And we at MarkZ, when I was watching his morning coffee this morning,
that's right. MarkZ is definitely someone worth watching. And well, let me put my headphones because I think otherwise I don't hear Felix very well.
But MarkZ was talking this morning, and he had Bob on, and Bob was saying it's imminent. The switch is ready to be thrown. We're ready to go. It's just a matter of when it gets thrown. That's all it is.
What about Mr. C? What is he saying?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing.
So we will have to see what happens.
Right.
And but yes, I in a moment of weakness yesterday, I bought another 500,000 dong. I didn't have any dong up to now, and I decided it cost me 50 euros, not really the world, but I thought, seeing as I've got Zim, I've got dinar, I might as well have some dong as well. So I hope that they should arrive tomorrow, and so I can then funnily so I can feel for the people who also have dong, because I didn't have any up to now.
All right. So what do you want to do here, Peter? You want to take some questions or get into the proposal stuff?
Well, yes. What I want to do now, first of all, I'm going to change my chair because in order to not have my backdrop. And you see I put a suit on for today as James Bond. Just to make it more realistic.
I'm in casino attire.
In casino, yeah, that's right. Yes, we all have to play that. No, I'm still trying to work out who is Moneypenny.
Okay, haven't seen a Moneypenny yet. So
didn't your friend say she would be Moneypenny at the end of the last program?
Yeah, exactly.
What was her name?
What was it? I think it was I can't remember now. Barbara.
Was it Barbara?
I think it was Barbara.
Okay.
I don't know if I can't see her here, but we'll see. All right. But anyway, what do you want to do?
Right. Okay. So the next part is talking about your preparations, because first of all, how many of you have Zims? A lot of it. Stella wants to be Moneypenny. I'm just reading in the chat. Okay. So yes. So we have lots of people here with Zims. That is great. Lots of people with Zims. Yes, I do.
Okay, great.
Now, so I have Zims as well. So I have to create a project just as much as you are. So I've been investigating in the last few days what I can find out as to what we have to do to prepare for these meetings. And that was actually the point of this program. This is another special edition, not so much because we wanted to play Bond, but because we wanted to inform you guys
how to use your bonds.
How to use your bonds, exactly. Okay, and that doesn't mean, ladies, that they use their James Bond for whatever. It's about your Zim bonds and how to convert those into monetary project or into projects which are then well financed. And it's quite interesting what I found out. Now, I went to the trouble of preparing a PowerPoint.
You have the Khan Commander?
Yeah, that's right. I need that. So, are you now seeing my screen?
Yes, there we go.
I wonder if I can move that out of this picture. Yeah, okay, so we don't need to see the other people. Right, okay, so this is a project, we're talking about humanitarian projects, and I'm going to try and walk you through what is needed for your appointments from what I've been able to detect in the last few days that I've been looking into this. So if we can move to the next slide. So your currency exchange, Zim redemption appointment. Humanitarians ask for the rate of redemptions for the bonds and other pertinent requests. The Alliance has said they will contact the humanitarians to schedule the redemption appointment wherever they live. So basically, we make an appointment, and then and we have to go there, and we go there in order to get the bonds exchange. Obviously, when you go there, you're going to need two forms of ID. One of them is a picture ID, so it could be a passport, it could be a driver's license in the USA, it could be whatever you have. And you also need a utility bill. That could be something like a power bill or a water bill or rates or something like that, as well, showing that your current address. So you need to have at least two forms of identity. If you have anything else, take it with you. You don't want them sending you home because they can't prove that you're the right person. So if you have receipts, and you should have receipts for the currency and Zim bonds which you have, I'm not talking about just the Zim bonds, I'm also talking about the dinar and the dong and whatever other currency you have. If you have receipts, how you bought them, make sure you take them along with you because you may be asked for them. That's not so likely with dinar and dong, but certainly for Zim bonds. So make sure you have that. If you have a humanitarian project, you're going to need a 5 to 10 page summary of your business plan. Bring additional information if you have with it as a kind of appendix, but don't make like 45-page business plan, then because nobody's going to read it. Make sure that the humanitarian project, the business plan you make for your business plan is basically kind of bullet points, and I'm coming to that a bit later, how to design that. And one thing which I heard is very important is you have to have an honest enthusiasm for your project, because that is what they're going to be looking for. They're looking for someone who's really sort of, really enthusiastic. Oh yeah, I really want to do this. And, they have to feel emotionally that you are absolutely attached to your project and that you want to do it and that you're really committed to doing it, and all you're missing is the money, and then you'll be getting onto it, and it's going to be your heart and soul of your life. That's what they're looking for, because they can't do the work. They're giving us the money so that we do the work, and it's great if we're doing work which we love to do. And so honest enthusiasm is going to be really important to sell your project to them. Most redemption centers are likely to be within 50 miles of your home. That will be about 70 kilometers, something like that, for the people who are not in the world of miles. And that means, 50 miles is not too far. We should all be able to travel that kind of distance. It's probably most likely going to be in major cities or military bases. So you will learn where you have to go when you make the appointment. The addresses of the redemption centers will not be made generally public. Tier 4B will have 10 days to make their appointments in order to receive special rates. That means as soon as you get the dates, make your appointment. Now, the appointment itself doesn't actually have to happen in those 10 days, but you have to have made the appointment, agreed within that period. And that is extremely important. And of course, it's obviously better if you can actually go to the appointment in that period as well. So if possible, no other appointment is so important than this one. Cancel anything else. If they say you're coming on Tuesday, then you're going on Tuesday, and anything else is just going to have to wait. If you've not been able to exchange in this period, you can still exchange, but at the normal rate, not at the higher rate. This is something which was new to me, that there is actually, wait a minute, I just moved back a slide too many. 1 second, back to slide 3. This is something which is new to me. There is actually a registration fee. A one-time fee of $10, I mean, it's not the world, we can pay that, is required to create a beneficiary account. Once the fee is paid, the beneficiary has done all that is required to receive funds for the rest of their life. So good investment, if I say so. It is not a government dole or charity. It is a gift from the benefactor who is paying them. The small fee goes into the benefactor's master account. It is not a source of income for the benefactor. I don't know why they need the $10, but I don't think it's a problem. If someone says you can have 30 million, but you have to pay me $10 first, I'm not going to refuse to paying the $10. I don't think anybody would. The RV and the redemption funds, all exchange currencies, as well as all Zim redemption funds, will be placed in the accounts they set up in the quantum financial system. Absolutely none of these funds will be placed in a bank at the redemption appointment. Bank computers cannot be programmed to transfer digital gold certificates. The QFS can and will transplant funds into a bank account, so a person can transfer funds to their own bank account. But the desirability will become less and less as the banks go into receivership and their customers' deposits are confiscated to avoid the bank's demise. So let's move to the next page. The appointment process is going to be easy, but you do need to do the preparations in order to be successful. That means you can't get out of doing your business plan. And I must admit, I have 2 business plans and they're not really finished either. I'm going to be working on them over the weekend. It behooves each SIM holder to quit listening to the disinformation and prepare for the appointment, which is a very positive thought process. The most important bit of knowledge is that the alliance is backing us 100%. We are the ones they are depending on to do the heavy lifting of mankind out of poverty and back into financial freedom worldwide. We take over when the alliance has cleared the battlefield and eliminated the bad characters. So basically, our role in this is basically to help restore the world back to a much nicer place. And they are providing the money so that we can get onto it, but we are the people, we have the job, because we're the waked people. There's a lot of people who are asleep. You can't ask the people who are asleep, and you can't ask the people who are running the banks and things who are doing all the nasty stuff to do this. It's up to us. That's why they need this process, and that's why they're paying us money, so that we are motivated to help restore the world to a better place. And I think it's excellent. Why not give it to the people who are really behind these things? They cannot do the humanitarian work themselves because we are the ones who have been chosen to receive the money and get the job done. So our role is going to be extremely important. Don't see Zims as, get some money and then run off and have a nice life. They actually need us to do some work, or at least us to delegate and maybe observe and check that the money which we delegated is being used properly. The Alliance would never short us on the funds needed to do our work. It is our turn. In other words, when you create your plan, when you're doing your business plan, and when you're saying how much money you need, ask for more than you think you need, because it's very easy to underestimate it price. So if you think you're going to need, say, 10 million, ask for 20. Yeah, and you're not going to get it all in any time, because it's going to be paid out in a monthly basis. Part of it, you're going to get the initial funds to start, but ask for more than you think you need, because it's very easy to underestimate what you need. You could also ask for 50. Maybe you'll get that. And also that you ask for the money over a period of 50 to 100 years, because you think, I'm 60 or 70 or 50 or whatever, I'm not going to live 100 years. Well, maybe you will, because the med beds will be there to help us regain our health and add years to our lives. And even if it wasn't, maybe we have people who we can pass it on to, whatever, who can continue the process for us. Prepare your presentation in a free, I would say ring binder, because free ring binder is something you have in the USA. Here in Europe, you have either a 2 or a 4 ring binder. So forget the number 3, just say ring binder. One for each person you want to take to the presentation, and one for the interviewer. So I would say you need 2 or 3, at least 2, maybe 3 binders with the same contents inside it, so that you have enough to leave with them. It's better to have one too many than when someone important there needs to make decisions not being able to be given a copy. You don't want to give them the hassle of copying it for you. Make sure you have, I would say, at least 3 copies of your documents. There's no requirement for a trust to be used for the redemption appointment. However, if you want one and don't have a trust, the Alliance agent will have a blank revocable trust document that you can use to establish a trust at the appointment. All you will need is the name of the trust, the beneficiary, and the trustees. You can request a QFS account for the trust so you can make your deposit. So let's go through the kind of information you're going to need to present. Things like your name, James Bond, I would say. Currencies, how much dong you have, how many dinar you have, how many Zim Bonds. I think most of us have only got 100T Zim Bonds, but maybe there's some people here with more. And then requesting a Zim redemption rates. Now, the rates given here are like the maximum you're going to get. Sounds pretty good if you're getting 500,000 per Zim Bond dollar. The VND rate, that's the Vietnamese dong, rate of 24.46 per dong. Wow, that's quite a good rate. That's the highest rate available. Whether you'll get that is another thing, which you can ask for it. They may say, no, you can't, or they may say, yes, you can. If you don't ask, you don't get. 24.46 dong per dong, dollar per dong. Well, I just picked up 500,000 dong for 50 euros. So that's quite a good return on investment. And it will be deposited in your dong dinar account. You don't get this money cash, it's put into your account. It will be a lot of money to go out cash. The dinar rate can be as high as $26 per dinar. That's not a guarantee. That's the highest possible rate. You could get $6. You could get $2 per dinar. It's going to depend on how well you sell your project, how much they think your project is worth. So don't take these numbers as gospel. I would say they're the maximum you could possibly get. And it could be a lot less. Then you're going to need a structured payout. Now, the suggestion is to do a 100-year term. That means, that's why I say ask for more than you need, because it could be that the money you're getting is paid out monthly over 100 years to make sure that your project never runs out of money. Because the idea is to set up projects which are not purely tied to you as a human being, but you're going to be delegating and you're going to be employing people who can continue the project even if you can't anymore. And this is about the project lasting a long time, not you as a person. Although you can live that long if you go to the medbeds and don't have any major accident, not run over by a bus or something. The first quarterly payment you will get at the appointment. So the first payment out of the money you're getting will be made available immediately, most likely in the form of a trust account or a dong dinar card, a debit card. You can ask for 15,000 in cash at the exchange. I'm not sure if that'll be available or not, because I think for security reasons, they want to avoid having cash at the location. You can ask, it may be available, it may not be. You may just get a plastic card. So then you set up, you ask to have your QFS accounts. You have the main account, which would be for your Zim, which is more of a trust account, and a secondary account, which is more like a normal banking account for dong and dinars. So they're two separate things, and I say for they could be giving out debit cards for at least for the dong and the dinar account. So I press the button. There we go. As regards the ring binder, as I said before, two or better 3 copies of this. It should include your bullet point presentation, which should be a short bullet point presentation of your personal projects that you want. And it should be presentable in 5 to 7 minutes. The maximum I heard they're going to allow is 20 minutes, but that might be for the entire appointment. So try and keep it short and sweet and to the point, and make it really understandable within 5 to 7 minutes. Once you've given the bullet point presentation, it's time to let the interviewer ask you questions, and they will ask you questions. Don't underestimate them at all. And while they're asking you questions, don't talk until they've asked you the question. Don't butt in. Dress well, think of being sort of James Bond and dressed well, and so you don't have to overdo it, but don't go there in dirty jeans and a t-shirt. That's not going to give you a good impression. So it's a lot of us about making a good impression. As I remember one person, I think it was Dale Carnegie, said, "You never get a second chance to make a first impression," and that certainly applies to this meeting. So be positive, listen closely to the questions, answer the questions that you're asked, not the questions which you think they should know, and be sure that your response is on point to the question, and take notes. Prepare your executive summary business plan, although it's optional. I'm not so sure optional is saying it's certainly going to be good if you have that well prepared and it looking good. Not a massive long one. It should be to the point. If you already have a limited company, which you're going to be running the thing with on any documents, which shows any structures you've already set up, bring those documentations with them so that they can see what it's all about, see what you've done already. Irrevocable trust documents will be made available at the appointment to temporarily use as your structure to receive the funds. There are no requirements from the Alliance for you to have a trust. You don't need to go in with a trust. So some closing thoughts on this. Once you've gone through the requests and the bullet points, there is very little left for you to explain. The QFS agent will probably not want to read through all the pages of information. They will only scan to see what you're presenting. That's why your presentation is so important, that you make a good impression and that they see that you really have the fire inside you to do this, that you're not there because you're going to get some money. You're there because you want to use the money to fulfill your dream of your project. That's how you have to think of it. If you're there just because you want some money and you couldn't care less about the project, then you may not get anything. So be careful how you present yourself. Or you may get a minimum amount, whatever. Understand that the way you organize your request will be a show of your intent, and intent is so important here. Be positive and respectful, but expect your requests to be filled. That means go in there, be friendly, nice, respectful, make a good presentation. And if you're asking for 100 million, it's a good chance you'll actually get it. It's not like normal bankers who are going to be causing you all kinds of troubles. If they can see that you need the money and with that money you're going to do something which is going to help humanity, you'll get the money. Have some questions written down about how to interface with the QFS. So that's right. Think ahead of time what questions you want to ask them, write them down so you have them as notes, because you could be nervous on the day and forget items, where if you have a list you can just go down, then you won't forget anything. So to set up new accounts and transfer to access your funds. So any questions you have, make sure you have them written down, and because everybody has something special which you want to ask. The QFS agent should give you a website address where it will explain the QFS and how to use it in support of your projects. So put some extra sheets of paper in your binder to take notes. And the final slide I have prepared, these are sort of additional comments. The information I used in this presentation was in part taken from the website qfs2020.com. They have some excellent information there for preparing for humanitarian projects. And that's why, when I was looking at everywhere, I thought that they'd done a good job. And so I recommend you also look at that website if you need to refer back to what was said in this meeting. Be confident and show enthusiasm. I can't say that enough. Show them that you're capable and willing to fulfill your project. When preparing your business plan, keep it down to a few pages, no more than 10. Use bullet points and images. Now, I saw another presentation by a lady called Donna, which I will also post onto the Telegram group, who also went into this. Now, she created an example of how to work on a PowerPoint thing. And what she said was it's better to have, say, one point on a page, but with a nice picture to go with it. So, because I learned this when I was a Dale Carnegie trainer, your mind works on pictures. When we were caveman, we didn't have words, but we had visual memory. And visual memory is what you remember. And so a picture is really worth 1,000 words. So for every point, if you can add an image which matches that point and really hammers it home, that is really good. Pixabay.com is a fantastic website for finding free to use images. I use it all the time. I write a lot of websites, and whenever I need an image, I nearly always find something on Pixabay.com which I can use. If you're required to sign an NDA, and if you have Zims, you certainly will be, keep to it. Do not say, oh, I'll just tell my wife, or I'll just tell my girlfriend, or I'll just tell my best friend. No, if it says non-disclosure agreement, keep to it. Don't tell anybody. You're not allowed to. You can ask at the meeting if you can ask tell your wife or your husband or whatever. But if they say no, then do it. Don't say no. If your friends and neighbors or whatever ask why you're suddenly doing well, you can say, look, I just started a company and it's doing well, for example, or it's doing better than I expected. They don't have to know how much you're doing. Just tell them, because they will see you're working on a project because you have a project for humanitarian. You can just say, oh, I just started this new project and I was surprised how well it was doing. Yeah. People accept that because they won't know better. Breaching the NDA can result in you losing your funds, and I've heard that has already happened. So keep it. It's just for 90 days. So just say, just make sure in those 90 days, or however long it is, you do not tell anybody anything which is covered by the NDA. And the final point, which comes from me, once you have your funds, get yourself enough food and supplies for a year, because this food shortage is coming, and we'd better. Now, while we're about it, while we're still on Humanitarian, I did mention Donna, and I think I've got her. Here we go. This is the one she done. Let me go through a little bit of what she presented through here. I can skip some of these pages because they're about her. We don't need to know who she is. Oh, right, what is the story is actually important. So when you're putting together your proposal, you have to make it into a story. What is the story? Think of the proposal as a story. What is the story of your project? What is the problem? Why does it matter? What is the solution? How will you make a difference? Be prepared to tell your story in just a few minutes. And I think that's important because people love stories, whereas just dry data will be lost to them. Make it an interesting story. Using color and graphics can convey the message. A pulled together look makes an impression. Use bullets, etc. Don't get bogged down into details. So that is an example of a procedure, but is that the best way? How about this? Problem, what is the issue you're trying to address? Is there a problem? That really comes out at you. It's much easier to understand when it's made into much more in your face. This is a terrible version. This is did you know that 75% of the children, you know, who's going to read that? You're going to give up. That is not what you should be doing. How about that? Did you know 75% of children in the town of St. Louis have no ability to attend school? That is over 10,000 children that we need to educate. Doesn't that work better? The picture of the kids, the big 75%, that's going to stay in your mind much better. In a few words, how will you fix that problem? This, you know, so using little images will make it much more acceptable, much more understandable. Our project is designed to educate 10,000 children of St. Louis in the time frame. Let us show you how. These little pictures make a lot of difference. What is your mission? Articulate it succulently in a mission statement. Our mission is to educate. We are committed to providing all the children of Cologne with education that prepares them to be leaders and change makers of tomorrow. So this is a demo which Donna put together, and I thought it was pretty good. That's why I wanted to say it briefly. I'm not going to go for every page of it, but I just thought it was quite a good example of how to prepare one of these things. And here, like the process, you first have to build the schools. That's the first step. The next step is develop the infrastructure, you know, get the equipment, educate the educators, you need the teachers, and then teach the children. So that shows in 4 steps in a way you can remember. Yeah, or educating our youth. This is the, so that basically is the slides. So you need the story, explain the story. When I was doing Dale Carnegie training, I did that for 8 years, many years ago. I started, I think, 2003, somewhere around there. It was a long time, quite a long time ago now. We were always taught the 4 problem solving questions. What is the problem? What is the cause of the problem? What are all possible solutions? And you can have several of those. You think of as you do brainstorm every kind of possible solution to your problem. And then finally, what is the best solution? That's something I've used, implemented in my life ever since. And I found that it has always helped me a long way. And you can use the same thing in your project. And also make it visually appealing, because pictures and graphics, they just stand out much more than just plain text. I'm just waiting for someone to say, well, my first presentation was just plain text. Yeah, you're right. I didn't have enough time to spruce it up as much as I wanted to. Then you have to get into the timelines and budgets. That should also be part of your proposal. So I think that, so yes, that's the first, that was from the first post. Because she did it in 2 parts. That's why it said thank you. So you got to talk about the approach, the buckets, which are things like marketing bucket, sales bucket, legal bucket, accounting bucket. You know, all these sections which you should talk about, timelines and budgets. And then you fill in a table. It doesn't have to be much more complicated than this, where you name the individual items and how much it's going to cost in each quarter. And you go through it, and then you have the data. So this is the kind of structure you can have when you're presenting your project. Now, I'll make these slides and her presentation available along with the video, so that you can have this materials as well. So you don't have to note this, you're going to get the copy, but it just gives you an idea of what it is. Category, build the schools, subcategory, land acquisition, and whatever. I just moved back a page.
We will be posting this in the Humanitarian Projects section of our the website
of the forum, exactly.
of the forum
Website, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that you can download it and copy it and have it for all of your stuff. Okay.
Right. So this just gives you an idea. I'm just going to flick through this because we don't want to make this too long. Just giving you an idea of what can be done to make a powerful presentation, because basically if we can be there with a good looking presentation which is easily understandable, then the chances are you're going to get your money. And that's
and
what
the question is, somebody posted it in there, can we put it on a jump drive or something like that? And if there's a screen available at the presentation that we can show it on, I would bring both, just printed and a jump drive, just in case there is an audiovisual system there that you can plug the jump drive into. But
what I've been hearing is you should bring it all printed out.
Okay.
Do not assume that you'll be able to set up because they don't have time. They want to get everybody through in 20 minutes. They don't want to start messing around. Right. So what I'm hearing is have everything printed out and in these, and obviously with 1 or 2 copies which you can leave with them.
And yes, you can present more than one project. Okay.
Yeah.
Just make it short and simple.
That's right. Yeah. Don't come with a 50-page project and expect them to read it all. It's got to be a good summary. That's what you need.
Exactly. All right, we ready for Q&A?
I think so. I think we're just I don't think I need to show all the rest of these slides. I think it's you've got the idea, and I hope that this presentation was useful for you.
And once I have the con back, there we go. Great, thank you. We have OddJob. OddJob, do you have a shoe or a top hat you're going to throw at us today?
Hi guys. No, I just thought of OddJob because, well, looking at my picture in there, I look more like Jabba.
Yeah,
never mind.
Yeah, well, you look a little like OddJob. There you go. Yeah. So, Doug, how you doing, man?
I'm fine. The other thing about OddJob was that my other half, she said, "Will you get this odd job done around the house?"
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
What I would say to that is, look, stop complaining about all these jobs which have to be done. Every year you complain about it. One of these years we will actually get to them.
Yeah, we call them honeydew projects here in the United States. Honeydew this, honeydew that.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
Something that's been in the back of my mind for quite a while, that you mentioned about debt forgiveness.
Yes.
And you also mentioned that people's mortgages will be forgiven.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So in the great scheme of things, I've not got a lot of money in the house, but just for comparison's sake, if you've got somebody that has a £2 or £3 million house mortgage, etc., and then you get the other people at the other end of the scale where they've got a £50,000 house.
Mm-hmm.
If people are getting that amount of money back, then that's not really a fair system, is it?
Well, I don't think it's meant to be a fair system. The whole bank lending system was not a fair system. But that's not what it's about. It's not about being fair. It's about getting rid of people's debt. And, just because some people are rich, it could be that the rich people will not get their money converted at all, because if they were involved in anything nefarious, they'll get all their money taken away. They'll be poorer than you and I were. So I think that is going to even out a lot of these things.
Okay.
So it's all about giving us a fresh start. Like for example, in Germany after the Second World War, they had a currency reform, and everybody started with 40 marks. Okay, if they were rich or poor, it didn't matter. Everybody got the same money, and the people who got rich only got rich because they were then good businessmen, not because they had a lot of money at the start. And I think this is going to be something similar, that we're all going to start with a baseline, that we have we're given some money to start off. It's obviously going to be a lot more than the 40 marks. So we're going to be provided with some good money to get us started, and then it's up to us to make a good job of it and make it a success.
All right, but
yeah, I get that, but the other thought is people who just rent a house, you know,
right.
You see where I'm coming from. That I know we're trying to make everything.
No, but all you're talking about is the how unfair our previous system was.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Okay.
new system is going to be different. The new system is going to be much more, you know, because if you, for example, have a Zim Bond and you have 30 million suddenly, you can buy a house for that. You can buy a very, very nice house for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
that it's these bonds are going to be correcting things for a lot of people.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, one of my projects was you've heard of the is it Michael Tellinger, small town. That I've got the thought that I want to try and create where I live with that model.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, but all right. Thank you, Doug. We're gonna try. All right, we're gonna try and keep things really short and simple here because we only got a limited amount of time. Chris Finnerty,
Hey,
go ahead.
Hey, good. Keep it real short here. Two quick questions. One, so with GESARA, mortgages are forgiven. Do they treat any banking practice the same way? So what if you have a personal line of credit and you've used up half of that personal line of credit and you're paying interest only on it? Would that be forgiven as well? Since that is, I mean, it's basically the same kind of loan.
Yeah, all bank debts will be forgiven.
So if the personal line of credit, I guess they would just wipe that away.
They would just wipe it to zero. Yes.
So Chris, here's the basics behind it. All right, let's say you went to a loan shark in New York. All right, and the loan shark got arrested. All right, all right, and he's no longer in the picture. All right, so your debt is forgiven because he went to jail for doing nefarious things. Okay,
gotcha.
That's the short and simple thing.
And that's good enough. That's good enough for me. One other quick things we've talked about through GESARA and GESARA transitioning back to price of goods, you know, maybe around the 1952, 1962 level as far as what things would cost.
Yeah.
From a manufacturing standpoint, is it cost of goods sold? How do we, you know, it takes so much money to build a product, and if the product costs $10, but in 1952 it cost $1, is it because it won't be it'll be cheaper to make the product?
That's right. Yes, it has to be throughout the whole process. That means the raw materials will be cheaper, the labor may be cheaper because everybody's rich, or I don't know. We have to work out. I'm also a little bit confused about how we're going to go back to prices from 1950s. But imagine if we're on the 1950s prices and we still have millions in the bank, that you know, money will never be important to us ever again.
Right. It'll go a lot farther. So I'm assuming that's kind of the idea, is that you're stretching your dollar a lot farther.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you're taking money away as a motivator, and then people are motivated by what they want to achieve.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Catherine, you're up next.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, I have a question. I don't have Sims. I know it's the Sim. You talk about Sims today, but I have dongs. How is it when you go to those redemption centers for just dongs?
Dongs don't have to be used for projects. You can just can just go there to get the better exchange rate. You can go there and say you have a project. Maybe they'll give you a better rate, but it's not absolutely necessary.
Right. I do comprehend that, but do I need to do something? I'll just go there, and if I don't, for example, for me, whatever I get, I get. I'm not that kind of.
That's right. Yeah, but there was still a number of points we mentioned which you'll have to do. You'll still have to need to prove who you are. You still need your identification.
Right.
You still need to show where you got the money from.
Yeah? Right. Of course.
Yeah,
Of
so you
course.
still have to present yourself friendly and
Right.
and answer any questions they have.
Right, right.
So just make
And
sure
then-
you're well prepared.
Okay.
Of course. And then as another thing, you said the money goes to a quantum finance account.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and then they give you kind of a card. Why do we need then the banks?
That's a good question. I think because people are used to their banks and they don't want to take away because you're going to get a lot of confused people out there. You know,
Right.
There's still going to be people. Yeah,
not
there's still
everybody's
going to be people.
user savvy in the new banking system, and people are going to need time to move over to a ledger system or to the new banking system which the QFS is. So as I understand it, the existing bank accounts will continue first of all until they slowly disappear. But you need some time for people to get used to a new system. If you take it away from everybody immediately, you're going to get a lot of people in trouble because they'll have no idea what to do and be lost.
Right. But my question is, do the banks then know? Because back in the days they were screwing us.
Well, yeah.
Do they know that they are?
Yeah, the
Yeah, they
banks,
know.
they know.
Do that?
Yeah, they know.
Okay.
They will know. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Susan Meaton, go ahead, Susan.
Hello. I have a question according to houses and renting and buying apartments, because I'm not quite sure if this is the right vocabulary, but in a cooperative flat. So we paid first up a certain sum of money and now we pay monthly rent.
Yeah.
Is there then the chance, will they change that we can buy these apartments, or is the money gone, or how will this turn out?
Well, you would have to negotiate with the owner of your apartment because then you will have the funds to buy it.
Well, they said no, but it was just the question is because
Well,
we
you
have
can't
already paid so much.
you can't force them to give you the property because it's their property.
Right.
They can sell it to you if they want to sell it, but if not, you will have the funds to go and buy a different property.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no, it was just a question if there are some legal changes to that, because
There's going to be a lot of legal. Well, the legal is we're going to be going to lawful as opposed to legal. The term legal refers to the judiciary, the statute law, which we've been having up to now, whereas lawful refers to common law, which we're all moving to. So the laws are going to get much simpler, but it's also about do no harm and do not steal and do not, do not take from people and be honest in your dealings.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. All right. All right. Thank you, Susan.
Bye.
All right. Heather. Hello, Heather.
Hello.
Yes, dear.
Hi. I just wondered if you could clarify what is the process when you haven't got a project but you have Zims.
Well, if you haven't got a
Got a project where I would like to donate to other people's projects.
yes, you can do
I'm
that.
too old to start doing projects myself.
Well, you can go on the med beds and get 30 years taken away.
You're right.
Yeah, but
You know,
that'll take some time.
From what I comprehend, there, they will have a list of humanitarian projects that you can give to. Okay.
Right.
Or ask around your friends, or maybe people, or maybe in our forum you can find people who have good projects
Like to do.
and hook
Yes,
up together,
I would like to do that.
and people who don't have Zims can hook up with you, and you can put a project together real quick. Okay.
That's right, yeah, because not everybody's going to have
Great.
Zims.
Exactly.
So we can help other people.
All right.
Good. Yes.
All right.
That'd be good
Thank
if
you,
you
Heather.
could set that up. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye, Heather.
All right. Erie, go ahead.
Hello, you two.
Yeah.
Hello.
I have two questions. Who had the idea to use Zims for humanitarian projects? I was just wondering.
Yeah, that's quite simple, really. They needed a currency which is not actually a real currency, so they could be used as bonds without it affecting any country. And Zimbabwe had gone through hyperinflation a number of years ago, and there were a lot of banknotes which were printed and which were still available, which had no value in the current system. And so they decided to use the Zim bonds as bonds.
But who is they?
The alliance.
The alliance. Okay, now I know.
The alliance, yeah.
And then I was thinking about the Great Reset, you know, which is about depopulation control.
Yes.
The QFS, but the QFS finally is controlling everything too.
Well, the Great Reset was from the other side. That was the deep state plan.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we would be happy that we've been stolen from. Yeah.
Right. They were stealing money, okay, and using money for nefarious purposes by using the old SWIFT banking system, which was not really controlled all that much. In the QFS system, which is a blockchain system, every payment is tracked. We know who it's going to. We know what it's being used for.
Okay, so and they don't control me then.
No, you can still do, as long as you're not doing anything nefarious, then you're free to do whatever you like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and the last question is, I have one SIM node. Well, I don't have a project. I just retired. Right. And I have some dong and dinar, but I would like to support people, friends financially. So how do I do that?
Well, so
I did so far.
Why don't you talk to them and see if they have a project? And maybe you can say, I want to finance their project.
Yeah.
And then bring them.
They don't. I want to support friends, you know, just with money. They don't have projects. I want to give them some money from my redemption money. So how does this work practically?
The new world is not going to be about money. Look at what they're doing, what they're needing. Everybody has dreams and things. Maybe they need a new house. Maybe they maybe they want to run a farm or something like that. Find out what is, because money is just a means to an end. It is not an end in itself. Mm-hmm. Talk to them. Just try and find out, what would you do if you had $1 million? Sort of question.
Well, for example, a friend of mine, she has been looking for jobs for 5 years now. Now she turns 59. She doesn't get a job, but she needs money because unemployment money is very low.
What kind of job was she looking for? What is it she wants to do? What is her dream? Everybody has a dream of what they want to do in life. Find that out and make that possible.
Yeah.
So I cannot just transfer from my QFS account to her bank account.
That's not the point of it. The point of it is to run projects.
Exactly.
Oh, I see.
The point of it is to run projects. The dongs and the dinars, you can just transfer that. That's no problem. Zim,
that is what I mean.
Dong and dinar, you can do that.
In mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dong and dinar.
Zim, you'll only get a certain amount for the Zim, and then everything above that has to be used for a humanitarian project. Just helping out your neighbors and friends and setting them up with money is not a humanitarian project.
Yeah, but for my dinars and dongs, I get some money. I get the redemption rate.
Yes.
And I can transfer money from that to their account.
Yes.
This is possible.
Yeah.
Whatever is your personal money, you can do whatever you want to with. Okay.
Okay, because I have it doesn't get transferred to my bank account, the dong and dinar.
Right.
No, it'll be transferred to a bank account you can use. You'll get a debit card, which you can use to spend the money.
Okay.
And then it works like it used to work before.
It's just like a Visa or MasterCard. You can just go and spend it.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
All right.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you,
Erie.
All right, Richard Beecroft. Hello, Richard. Got to unmute there, Richard.
I think he's trying. He's 009, I can see.
Yeah, I see 009. Okay.
009, Richard.
Thank you, boys, for your presentation today. It was very helpful indeed.
I'm glad you liked it.
I don't have any question about it, but I do have a question of whether you could do another session on stellar, lobster, XRP, and that kind of thing.
We would have to get an expert in on that.
To be honest, I know nothing about that. I've never used it. It's new. There are things I know. There are some things I know I don't know. and I'm not an expert on that. So if we can find an expert from that, maybe we can have a guest expert to talk about it. But that's
Right.
not something I could talk about because I just don't know enough about it.
Right. And we're not at financial advisors in any way, shape, or form. So we would have to get a real expert in on that. Let Peter and I talk about that. We'll see what we can do. Okay.
Excellent. Thanks so much, guys.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you, Richard.
Ciao.
Patricia and Debra in Tucson.
There we go. Hi.
Hi,
Okay.
ladies.
Thank you for everything.
Good morning,
Which one's Patricia? Which one's Debra?
Patricia?
Deborah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
Where's Moneypenny?
Where's Moneypenny?
Well,
She just stepped out.
Oh, she just got out. Okay.
one of the questions or one of the requests is you said you were going to put the PowerPoint in the forum. Are you
Yep.
talking Peter's PowerPoint or the other
Donna.
lady, Donna?
Donna, both.
Both.
We'll put the materials from this event onto the forum so that you can download them and use them as you need.
Okay. And one other thing, I think I need Peter's address because I got because I don't want to waste time here, but I got a note when I went to the GESARA website. I made a comment to try to correct a time zone that you were placing, and I got a note from someone that says they were you
On a Telegram thread.
on a new Telegram
With
thread.
the same.
Oh, really?
And it says, hello, how are you doing? Hope you're staying safe. Just came across your comments on my channel.
That's a typical
How-
normally start with something like that.
Yeah,
They're the scammers.
that is a
So
scammer.
I should just block it.
That's yeah.
Right.
That if they start like that, that's how the scammers are starting. I've seen
The main
screenshots. It was always that way.
the main thing is if you get something from one of us, either Billy or Peter,
Yeah.
in any way, shape, or form, the best way to say, let me know it's you by sending me a recording of today's date and time in your voice. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Because
Uh,
Peter and I have very distinctive voices.
Yeah.
It's
all right?
just that our times are going to be different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now it is well, in fact, we even say the times different. I would say it's 20:37 now, which is 8:37 p.m. Now I don't know what time it is where you are. In Arizona, it's going to be probably much earlier in the day.
Right.
Arizona
And in
time
St.
now.
Louis, I would just say the time is 1:38 p.m. on April 7th, 2022.
Okay, and that's what I was trying to comment is in Arizona, you're saying that we're on mountain time, but you're saying it's 2 hours behind St. Louis time. Arizona.
Well, I don't think it's at some point in times it is 2 hours, and some point in times it is 1 hour.
Yeah.
But
okay.
it's not mountain time that we follow during the summer. We follow
Yeah.
Pacific.
Right. So you're 2
I have an
hours
app.
behind us. 2
I
hours
have an app
behind me
which
right
gives
now.
me the times in every area according to the date, and that's
Right.
what I use. So it should be showing the correct time for your area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Is there an email in case we ever want to ask you a question?
Just go to the forum and use the contact us feature.
Okay.
Contact us. Yeah.
Contact
Yeah.
us, and then you can, and then you'll get to.
Say thank you. Thank
I-
you in person. And,
Is that money behind you doing the dishes?
Walked in.
Who's doing the dishes?
This is Brian.
Oh, it's
Brian.
Brian. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So is he 009 or something?
Yeah. 008.
No, we just had double.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just had
008.
009, so he's 008. All right. Thank you, ladies.
Okay,
Thank you,
there was
David.
one thing I'd like to add to that, though. Someone I saw, can't remember who it was, but someone made a comment on the Telegram channel and said that when someone was talking to them, she said to them, "Can you please send me that as a voice message because my eyes are bad and I can't read very well. So could you please speak your message?"
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
excuse to get them to say you have to say it, and
I
then
wanna-
they'll run away.
Yeah, let me add one quick thing. I noticed in a previous chat line thread on a different conversation that there was someone who had posted a website for people who were doing humanitarian projects. I haven't seen it yet today. But for some of the people who are interested in giving, but they don't have a project, maybe someone could post that again for anyone interested.
Okay, I'm not sure I saw that one, but fine.
All right. But thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right.
Okay.
Jordan Nussbaum, go ahead. Jordan.
Sorry, guys. Always catch me when I'm working. So I posted on the forum because I didn't have a project, but I found a lady that has a nonprofit already, and it's well established. So when I go in there, do you have any additional suggestions? Because again, I don't want to go in there looking like I'm just trying to make offers, because I'm not. Like I want to help and
show passion for your project.
Better, so
show passion for your project. Explain your project and explain how you've always been wanting to do this, and it's only the lack of money which has been stopping you. Yeah, that's what they need to see.
The interesting thing is the thing she is doing. I do have a passion for. So it's interesting that it's not like it's just far out of left field. So
okay,
all right,
but just keep posting in the forum. And maybe hook up with somebody who has a project who doesn't have any Zim. Okay.
Yeah, I already found one. Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and that'll work. All right. But thank you, Jordan.
Okay. Thank you, Felix.
All right. We're starting to run out of time here, folks. So let's keep it short and simple. Nick, go ahead.
G'day, guys. How you going?
Hey, good to see you, Nick.
Well, you've certainly raised my standard in my mind of what we have to present at this meeting. I have several desires to help people with existing projects, but do we have to present their project to the level that you've just shown us? Or is that more that detail just for our own projects? Because I've got one main project for myself as well.
I would think any project they're expected to finance, they're going to need at least the bullet points, at least a few pages.
So I need them to give me their project in that format. Is that what you're saying?
About 4 or 5 pages. Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, that's a bit. I'm sure a lot of people are happy to hear that, because that clarifies a lot. This is a much bigger expectation in professionalism, I think, than, well, probably many of us were thinking. So do they follow up a lot? Do we have like a manager, like an account manager with us that follows up?
They will give you contact information for somebody who will help you along the way.
That's right. Yes, there are account managers.
Because we are thinking long term, because we're going to live long, healthy lives.
That's
and
right.
So we need to sort of broaden our awareness of what we should expect. And I really like your boldness in what you've written in your example there, Peter, because I think a lot of people don't believe that they could even live a long enough life or be healthy enough to have these dreams. So I think it's a valid point to say, no, think big, ask big. And that's what I caught mostly out of your presentation, is that you were pretty bold.
Yeah.
And you said double it, and
that's right.
But you've also asked people to prove why they should get that money. And I just hope that we have the boldness to do it. But again, like you say, they're going to look into your heart and they're going to see your passion. And even if you feel like you haven't got all the skills yet, surely they're going to see your potential. Would you agree?
Yep.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, one of my projects is a project I've been working on since 2001. It's to do with microscopes, and I'm not a microscope expert, but I have been telling people about the microscopes, and I have worked with the inventor for all these years. So I do know a lot, but I know about it more theoretically than actually sitting in front of the microscope and actually looking at things. But I have the passion to make this happen, and I'm just going to hire the people I need to be the experts.
Exactly. All right.
Well, that's
you may not be an expert. You may not be an expert on your particular field of subject, but if you have experts that you can hire in order to do it, that makes even more sense.
That's right.
Okay, so what if we don't have those experts yet, but we would, with the money that we have, and they can see that we have the potential to be able to hire managers.
That's right. If you have the money, you can hire people. You know, you just look for people with look for people who are unvaxxed. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Yes,
right.
But they be looking into your heart to see that you have the potential to be able to oversee these sort of projects, because you may not be there yet. You may not have that confidence, that knowledge, that managerial experience. But surely you said that there was going to be some sort of alien person who can look into your heart and see your intent.
Yes, that's right.
So that wasn't mentioned, but remember they said that.
Yes, I say it's really you got to have a passion. You know, say from your heart what you want to do. If they can see the fire coming out of you, that you really want to get this done, you've been dreaming about this all this time, you've done all these things, it hasn't worked up to now, but now you really want to get it done, and this is the best chance you ever had.
Okay. Because I'd like to be the one to actually, in my community, to be able to say, this is where you go to get this, this is where you go for that. I want to be like a directing kind of person.
Well, maybe
a special projects director.
Maybe that's what you're saying, that you have this passion to help other people fulfill their passions.
Exactly.
It's like they could come to me and they could say, look, I've got a project. Because remember, we're thinking long term, 100 years into the future. Like you're going to need a lot of money behind you. Say, right, we've got this, like I've hired this manager, so that you can come to them and you can say, I've got a project for humanity. Which may not even be conceived of until like 5, 10, 20, 30 years time.
Right.
We're thinking long term, aren't we?
Right. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. All right. Got to move on.
So got to think big.
Yep. Got to think big. Exactly. All right. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Barbara on their main iPhone.
No, that's Money Penny.
Thank you so much. I actually have several questions, but they're short.
Penny money.
If there is not, yeah, there you go. If you only have personal, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. If you have IDs that don't incorporate the utilities because you don't have utilities, like my kids who are older are in college and out of college, they don't have utility bills. So, and anything that is utility would be in my name. So, can they use 2 other forms of ID, like credit card
they're asking for 2 forms of ID, and it's got and I would make sure they're picture IDs if you've got them.
Okay, all right. And the next question I have is that as far as the banknotes, the Zims, is there I know there's we're talking about most people have a maximum of 100 trillion, but is there a number of notes that there's a limit of? For some reason I heard someone say that you can't have more than 5.
Well, people have people can have up to 5 100 trillion notes. I think that's the limit.
I mean, how much do you need? Really?
How much do you need? I mean, you're talking about 30 million
I mean,
each.
I keep pointing it out. Our national debt here in the United States is $30 trillion. You know, we can pay that off 3 times over.
I'm talking about 10 trillion, that sort of thing.
Well, the 10 trillion.
In other words, is a denomination.
Right. We're talking.
The denomination doesn't matter. Okay. No. All right. Then my next. That's okay. That's good. The next question I have is you mentioned something about, Peter, I think you mentioned something about buying food. So obviously there's a certain portion of the money that you get that you can actually spend.
That's right. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Is there a certain amount that you're allowed to spend?
From 100 trillion,
that has to be.
From 100 trillion Zim Bond, no, you're allowed to spend 30 million.
Okay. All right. And then
should be enough to get some food.
Right. That's good. If we go back to the 1955, cost of living, how does that affect our salaries, our current salaries? Like if you're making, $80,000, are you then all of a sudden, are they going to change the amount of money that you get?
But I don't think money will be important anymore, because you'll have the money. You'll have the money you need. I don't think what you earn is important. I think this has come across in Star Trek and even the Orville, the other series, which is like Star Trek, that money is no longer a thing people strive for. Money, it's it's your status in life, what you're achieving. That's what people will be striving for, and money will just be something we used to care about.
Right. Okay. So they really haven't said anything about it. And have you heard anything about the med beds? Are they any closer?
I've heard lots of things
out?
about. I've heard lots of things about med beds, but I don't know what you want to know.
Are they closer to coming out? For
Yeah,
those
they should be made available shortly after the
after GESARA is announced.
after it's happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that all three of them? Or all three of them?
The third one, the
just
celestial
one?
bed, may take a bit longer, but the normal med beds should be available within 1 or 2 months of us switching to GESARA and NESARA.
Those are the ones that kind of cure arthritis and cancer and that sort of thing, right?
Well, they can all cure cancer, but the normal ones take maybe 6 or 7 sessions, whereas the other one can do it in 1.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Barbara. Gina Finero. Gina, are you there?
I am. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay. So after listening to your presentation and everything about the business plan, I've decided I wanted to fund some homeless shelters.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I did contact them, and they do have some ongoing projects they need help funding.
Mm-hmm.
And they did say that they would actually put a business plan together for me.
Okay, great.
So if I and I didn't tell them, anything about how I was getting the funds or anything,
right,
but so I'm suggesting, should I just go meet with them like they suggested?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
get everything together, let them do the business plan.
And find out, don't get too much into their financials or anything like that, but ask them what their operating costs are for a typical year, ballpark. All right.
Operating. Okay.
Yeah. Operating costs for a typical year. Okay.
Okay.
And just a roundabout figure, and then multiply that by about 50 years. Okay. And that'll give you a good basis for a humanitarian project.
And then that should cover any ongoing projects they're trying to get off the ground, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So what kind of
and throw in some money for new facilities. Okay. If you had your dream,
that's what they're working on right now.
If you had your dream facility, how much do you think it would cost to put together your dream facility, and throw that number in there as well?
That's right.
So what kind of other bullet points, or should I include pictures if they have them, or
pictures if they have them,
pictures are great.
Their mission statement, bullet points about what they do, how they educate people, and what they, things that they do on an ongoing basis to help people.
Yeah, because I was trying to, what I really would like to do with these homeless shelters is create like a one-stop shop. Because I was talking to the girl and I said, well, when you get people off the street and you're just helping them intermittently, you're not really helping them. They need to be off the street. They need to be educated. They need to be homed, medical needs, the whole 9 yards. So they can go back to society and, be a constructive part of society. And then you think, this is just a question to ask if you think this is a good idea, in these one-stop centers, which I would like to create for the homeless, could we incorporate a med bed to these homeless?
That will be something that would have to be done sometime later on.
I'm not sure that will happen, because the med beds are under the control of the military.
Right.
And they'll just be able to say, just go there. You don't have to have a med bed. I think in the longer term, that will be different.
Mm-hmm. Well, then I'm going to have to incorporate transportation, because homeless people don't usually have transportation.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But what about instead of in one of my big things is to deal with foster children, people who are, people who have been abandoned by their parents who are very young, people with Down syndrome and things of that nature, and actually create our own community. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Actually buy about 350 acres. All right. And actually create our own community where we have individual homes. Okay, not in an apartment type deal, but individual homes, and we actually teach them skills and trades and things of that nature. And as they grow older, they know how to do all these things. They know how to farm. They know how to, everything that you would have to do in a farm. We teach people how to shoe horses. We teach people how to, till the land. We teach people how to take care of chickens and cattle and pigs and, everything that would have to do with that. And, you take all of these people, and then once you have one big project like that done, then you mirror it, and you buy another piece of land in another part of the state or another state or whatnot, and you just mirror it and just keep it perpetuating.
Now, will I be responsible for all the day-to-day operations and everything that takes place with this project?
That's up to you as project manager. What you want to do. I mean, you can delegate things, and in fact, you may be able to help just not one group, but maybe several groups. You know, you could expand and then have local managers working for you, doing what you. So you can always delegate these things because we'll have the money to do that.
Yeah, because I think they pretty much have everything already figured out.
Yeah, exactly.
One more question and then I'm done. So my husband has Dinar and I have the Zim, obviously. Do we need to go to separate appointments or together?
Separate.
But
they could be one after another. You could say, look, we're going to this together, and then you go in, and then the other one goes in. Yeah?
Okay.
And then I guess at the appointment, they'll explain to me how the funds get transferred to the project people or whatever.
Yep.
Well,
yep. They'll give you all of that information for
You'll
sure.
get all that details. Yes.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right.
Welcome.
Thank you, Gina. Donna, you're up next.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
But you're in a coal mine.
Oh, sorry, I'm closer to my computer here.
And we can't see you. Your camera's not turned on.
It's a black cat in a coal mine.
I have an external monitor and I don't know how to turn the camera on it.
That's okay.
Okay, thank you. I love you guys. Hey, I just wanted to say about the presentation. I prefer to do mine in Microsoft Word. I know a lot of people, I've done help desk forever.
Doesn't matter the format. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It does not matter whether it's in PowerPoint, Word, Notepad, or just typed out on an old banger typewriter.
Yeah,
okay?
but you won't get pictures in Notepad.
Right.
Exactly. I wanted to give a helpful hint. If you go and make a Microsoft email account, you get Word, PowerPoint, and Excel for free. It's a web version and it comes with the account. Because I know a lot of people don't have this installed on their computer already. So just a suggestion, you can get it for free. You don't have to buy it to download on your computer.
Exactly.
Thank you. My question was, I read a couple of the notes from the daily notes from your website, and I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was, but somebody mentioned that we may need to also say what are our skills that qualify us for this project, and I'm on board with everybody else. Are they going to deny us if we're not a builder?
No. Here's the thing. It's more about your heart and your passion than it is anything else.
Yeah, but the skills are necessary too, because you have to have the ability to do the job, or you have the ability to delegate to people who have the ability to do the job. I mean, if you're the head of a massive company, for example, they can't do this. They can't do all the work of the people on the production line, but they know how to delegate it and make sure that the people who are doing that job get all they need to do their job. So it's a matter of being able to delegate or organize.
If you've been a manager or something like that where you've had to delegate, that'll be your experience.
Oh, very good, very good. Love it. I haven't been a manager, but I've done a lot of things on that level. I had a question. I have multiple Zims. I'm going to split them into different projects. One of them was to delegate money to my church. I don't know, $1 million a year or something. I don't know, whatever it may be, and let them decide what to do with it. Would that
they would need to. You would need to have something that says, if you want to donate it out of your personal funds, that's one thing. But if you want to use the Zim as a humanitarian project for your church, then I would find out from your church, get exactly what the bullet points are that they would like to do with the money. Okay.
That's right. Maybe the church needs a new roof or something, or they need to expand it so they can help children. Although churches and children, that's a bit dodgy as far as I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Right, but if they help, for example, build a compound in Africa as missionary type thing, then that.
Or if they're maybe helping the homeless or whatever. But you need to talk to the people at the meeting about that.
Yep. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Donna. All right. Jack Patelski. Hello, Jack. Just got to unmute there, Jack. Jack, can you hear me? There we go.
I hear you. There we go. How you guys doing today?
Doing good, Jack. What do you got for us?
I got once we get the money, our funds, are we going to be able to, how are we going to be able to transfer it to individuals? I heard you speak about the project.
Well, how do you do it now? You have a bank account and you can transfer.
Well, I write
money
somebody
from
a
one account
check.
to
You
another.
know, here's some money. I write you a check. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, maybe it won't be checks. It'll be a digital account, and they give you their account details, and you transfer the money to them. It'll be from
kind of like you would a direct transfer from your bank, from your banking account to somebody else's banking account.
That's right. Yeah.
Or just go to their bank. And that's the other question.
No, you'll have an app on your phone, on your Q phone probably.
Okay.
And then you go and then you look them up on there and say, I want to transfer this amount to them, and they'll get the money instantaneously.
Exactly.
And then the other thing was I keep hearing Wells Fargo is going to be a player.
That's right. Yes.
Yes.
And Bank of America is the other one.
We don't know about Bank of America
HSBC is the other one I hear.
Yeah.
HSBC. Copy
right.
that. And then one more thing. How do I decode from Charlie saying we're hours away?
We're hours could mean anything at this point.
Well,
okay?
yes,
we've heard days. We've heard days before, but in like sands through the hourglass. So are the days of our lives. All right.
Yeah. What does that mean? 72 hours, 48 hours.
Exactly.
Charlie, come on.
Hours, I mean, how many hours are there in the year?
Exactly.
I just thought you might be able to decode that for me.
Well, I think that we are actually pretty close. I just wouldn't start saying we're hours away. I think that's. I mean, maybe he knows things I don't know. Probably he knows things I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
I do know that MarkZ has also been saying that we're getting very close now. So it's very possible, and there are good reasons to push it now. So
Easter
let's just wait and
our
see what
timeline.
happens.
Remember, Trump said Easter is our timeline. So there you go.
So Easter is only hours away.
Exactly. Good Friday is tomorrow, man. Good Friday is tomorrow.
Thanks for all your help.
You're welcome.
All right. Thanks,
Take care,
Jack.
guys.
Kyrki.
Hello.
Hello, Kyrki.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. I can't. Oh, yeah. There you are.
You mentioned, Peter, about registration. How and where do we register for our project? Did I hear well?
I didn't quite understand that. You're a little bit quiet. What was that?
I think her question was, are we ready to do the redemption yet? And where do we go to?
No. I think you mentioned that we need to register that we have a project. Is that right? Did I hear well?
Yeah.
Or
What happens is we're going to be given phone numbers and website addresses where we can register our interest in exchanging, and that's going to be released anytime now.
Okay.
And as soon as that is released, then get on there and make an appointment.
Okay.
And then you'll know where to go and all these things. That's how it works.
Okay. I have a friend, my friend here, Valerie.
Hello, Valerie.
Hello, Valerie.
Hello. She is renting a place and she has no utility bills.
She
Is
doesn't
that a
have
problem?
She doesn't pay for power, or she doesn't pay for telephone.
Nothing on her name.
All right.
Nothing.
So
Nothing on her name.
two forms of identification, some sort of passport, driver's license, things of that nature. Birth certificate would work well. Okay.
Yeah, but
if you have a
that won't
copy
have
of
a
your
picture
birth,
on it. Yeah.
it doesn't have a picture on it, but neither does your utility bill. Okay?
Yeah, that's true. One of
All
them
right.
has to have a picture.
One picture ID and then another one showing where you live. Okay. Your lease agreement. Okay.
Right.
Your rental agreement. Yeah.
Your rental agreement from your apartment.
the receipt of the Zim has our address on it. Is that enough? Maybe.
The receipt, the receipt where the Zim was sent?
Yes.
Okay.
You could try.
You could try that.
What I would do in your case is when you make the appointment, ask that question if that's acceptable.
Okay.
Okay. And because we've got an outline of the project and not exactly the formation, the format you showed us, Peter, tonight, so detailed, is the how do you mention the dots, for instance, the bullets, the bullet points? They're okay, but the details on the expenses, on the managers, on the people that would be needed to contribute and be need to be paid. All these details, could we hire someone to get it?
Yeah, you can do.
Yes.
I mean, you saw it was really only one page, but it was laid out of, you know, for this I need this amount, for this I need this amount, and it's all summed together on one page. It's one page of numbers, and I think that's not too much to ask to create that for your project, because it shows that you thought it through.
Yeah, but if we don't have any idea about how much that will cost or how much this person can be paid.
Well, just exaggerate. Just exaggerate.
Yeah, just guesstimate. Okay.
Yeah. Work out what it is, double it. Yeah, you can always ask for too much.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Kyrki.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, Gayden.
Hello. Okay, gotta be quick. We go in and we want to donate to a project, but can we say we want to help with that project?
Yeah, of course.
Of course,
yes, yeah. Of course, yeah. That's the point.
Okay. Perfect. And the other, I'm confused. I keep hearing you said, Peter, 1,000 Zims would be 30 million for us to keep?
No, a 100 trillion Zim note it translates to $30 million. It's 30 cents per million.
Right. And we get to keep 20%, correct?
That was an old message we heard a long time ago. Now the message is we get to keep 30 million, and anything we need for a project is paid to us on top of that.
Correct.
Oh.
So it's not 20% of 30 million. No, you get the 30 million on a $100 trillion Zim note.
And that's to pay your living expenses for the next years. Yeah.
Right.
I got you.
But you won't get it in one go. You'll get it in a monthly payment.
Okay. Okay. And if we wanted to donate to like Simon Park's collective consciousness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that something we can tell them we want to do?
Yeah, why not?
Yes. Why not? Yeah. I'm sure they're going to know who Simon Parks is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Consciousness. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Gayden.
You're welcome.
Abby?
Hi.
Hi, Abby.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make an inquiry. Assuming I have a pre-project in mind, one on a science project, and the other one for homeless.
Right.
Like instead of acquiring a land for food-wise, like sort of what's the right way to put it? And the second one is having a project for housing for the homeless.
Yes.
Can I combine the three projects together?
Yes. Well, you're going to have to get. All right. So
you have to itemize them in your plan.
You itemize them in your plan. All right. But the basics behind everything, it for life is concerned, is shelter, food, water, clothing. Okay. So if you're talking about, all of those things, combine them into one project. Okay. And just say, I need X amount of money to, let's say you want to house 1,000 people. Okay. How much housing do you need? Estimate how much per person it's going to cost to house those people. Estimate how much it's going to cost to feed those people. Estimate how much it's going to cost to get water to those people. Estimate how much it's going to cost to clothe those people for a year, each one. All right. And then you multiply that by 1,000. All right. and then add some money in for, infrastructure and things of that nature. And there's the basis of your project.
That's really great. Thanks for the information. And regarding the booking wise, is that really based on the registration as the other lady was making inquiry? You have to register that for you to get the access for the appointments?
Well, no, you don't have to register your Zim anywhere at this point. Okay. Once we have the information available and it comes out, the 1-800 number or whatever the thing is in your particular area or country, we'll get the word out somehow how you can set your appointments.
Okay? Where are you, Abby? Where are
you? I'm in London.
Oh, you're in London. Okay.
Yeah. Middlesex. Somewhere around Oxbridge.
No, okay. Oxbridge I know well. Yes.
That's really good. This funny guy is the MP. Boris is the MP. Yep. Judge, shame that I have him as an MP, but then again, I've got nothing to say about it. Yeah. So at the moment, I'm keeping my fingers crossed and see how it goes.
Well, you guys say we say over here, let's go Brandon. You guys say let's go Boris. Okay.
Thanks again. Right. I really appreciate what you're doing. God bless.
All right. Yeah, thank you, Abby.
I call him Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. All right. Sandra McCurdy.
Sandy McCurdy. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for everything. I'm going to try and be quick. Holy crow. I have so much to ask.
Well, yeah.
But,
okay.
I did want to mention that, here over near, see, you guys, somebody said they were in London, England, but I'm over in London, Ontario, Canada.
Funny, I was thinking that when he said London, I was wondering, I wonder if it's London, Ontario.
Yeah. That's where I am, though. So
all
that's
right,
kind of interesting. We have one of each.
So you're a Londoner.
Yes, and I'm actually a dual citizen for being a European, but whatever. I don't have the dual citizenship though. Like I'm 50%. Anyway.
Okay.
So I did want to mention that you guys brought up that there were military on the ground in lots of places.
Yes.
We've been informed here that all the way from Ottawa to Windsor, which is the all of Ontario, which is the second largest province in Canada. Yep. That there's going to be boots on the ground and not to be alarmed. And we just got another notification that there's going to be boots on the ground in the London area and north of London.
Okay.
So anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know that it's happening here too.
That's
right. All right. Well, wonderful.
Okay. So where's my question here? Oh gosh. So I've been trying to encourage others about buying Zims, dinar, dong. Now, is that, and they're asking how they're going to be able to stay afloat. Now, this isn't my question, but it's theirs, and I couldn't answer it. I didn't know. They were saying, if all the projects are free, like for free, like how do they stay afloat? Like, how do they keep getting paid? I didn't know how to answer that one.
So if they're getting paid to do the project, is that what you mean?
Like if they were going to start a project, like well, for example, like the med bedding and stuff.
Well, that's
free.
Okay. Then they get paid 30 million if they have a 100 trillion note, and that is their payment.
Right.
That's what they live off.
Oh, didn't even think to tell them that part. Good heaven.
Yeah.
A minute. So the estimated costs of running a med bed thing, and I'm not sure, you guys were saying that, like, because that was one of my projects. What if it doesn't get approved?
I would go in with two projects, one for the med beds and one for something else, because if one is not approved, you say, okay, well, let's do this one.
Okay, and even if you don't get approved, and you say, well, can I donate? Do you still get the 30 million?
Yeah, you can always donate, yes. And
yes.
You probably still get the 30 million, yeah.
Okay.
Unless you're nefarious.
No, yeah, I'm not. All right. Well, that's great. I just was curious about those questions. I think that's all and I don't want to be too long. So thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, Sandra. All right. I see we have Miss Penny Money, Barbara, in the house.
Ah, yes. I made a mistake earlier. I heard Barbara and I was looking at her and then I realized, oh, wait a minute, there's no yellow line around Penny Money Barbara.
Hello,
Hi,
Miss Penny Money.
Hi, Money Penny.
Hello. I was going to use Queen of the World because that's what I usually do, but yeah, not a good image these days. So I bought 500 trillion whatever Zims. I bought one for each of my siblings.
Right.
Now my siblings have no clue what's going on. I think they're nice people. They're my siblings.
Right.
And I was told it's probably better for me to go in to redeem it. But am I going to be able to, like, oh, okay, I have 4 siblings and here are their Zims.
You're going to need a project for each one.
Right.
Okay.
Can they be guardian angels for somebody else?
Okay. My other question is because someone's been, the project I'm doing, actually, I've had it for 10 years and technically it's an LLC business. But the problem is it hasn't been financially feasible.
Okay.
Well, that's what this is all about, making these things feasible.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So someone keeps telling me, you're going to have to show them that you can make a profit. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I won't pay anybody any salary.
Not necessarily
I mean,
have to make
that's not necessary.
Make a profit is not necessary. It's the intent behind the
Okay.
project that is the thing. This is not a money making thing. This is humanitarian projects that if you turn a profit, okay, all right, but
it's our job to heal the world, put it that way.
Exactly.
Okay. So I should come up with 4 more projects or things to for the other Zims.
Think big.
Yes.
Think big.
Yeah, think big.
Clean the oceans, for example.
Actually,
or something.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Peter, I'm thinking small, tiny.
That's
because
right. I'm noticing that. I mean, if you
my business is doll houses and scale modeling.
Right.
So,
okay.
So it's,
right.
I actually think small, but very big.
So what I would say for you then is you want to produce doll houses for all the children from the DUMS.
No, I want the children to make their own doll houses in my studio under my guidance and help
to
with
teach
a
scale
parent.
modeling.
That's not very big. You got to sell the kits so so you can sell in large numbers.
Oh, well, Peter, they have working electricity, they have wallpaper and flooring, they have, and the whole idea is for the child, possibly with a parent, to build it together, to get back that generational.
Yes, but you're thinking of a little mom and pop type, small thing. Think about expanding that you're selling thousands of kits to all these kids which don't have anything, and they can then experience this, not just locally, but lots of people. The bigger you think about it, the more money you get.
Exactly.
I'm connected to every small dollhouse store in the United States. We have a group. I could offer to upgrade their studios, their spaces, if they agree to do the studio or whatever.
Yeah,
exactly. All right.
Good. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll change my name after. I'll change my name after today's.
All right. Thank you. All right. Moving on here. Rita Frette. Oh, can't hear you, Rita.
Rita, you need to switch your microphone on.
Need to switch your microphone on.
We can't hear you otherwise. It's not working.
All right, Rita.
Oh, no,
there she goes. There she goes.
Now we can hear you. Yeah.
Is it now? Yeah. Okay. I'm from that small town, and our sewer system is getting very old, and we need to have a new sewer system put in, but financially the town can't do it. but
Right.
I have no idea of how to do it. And I was underneath the impression that if I came with that kind of a project, you guys would connect me with someone that could help me set up the project so I could help our town.
Go to the town. You must have a
Yes.
town planning department in your town. You know, a town where they plan such things. Go and talk to them.
No, we have 4,000 people. We are small.
You still need a town planning department.
We are very.
How do the roads get
Okay.
built? How do the schools get built? You've got to have someone who does the planning for this thing. Go and talk to them and say, look, you know an entrepreneur.
So what is Mark Jackson, our city? So would our city administrator then help me get going on this?
Yes, try that. Start there.
Start there. Okay, that's what I needed. I needed a guide so I knew how to go about doing this, because I think this is something that would really be beneficial to our whole town.
Of course, yeah. We all need sewage.
Yes.
Okay.
And very good. All right, that's what I wanted to know. I wanted a guide. Thank you.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, Rita. Peter, it's time to talk to the boss.
The boss.
M is in the house.
M is in the house. Ah, okay.
M, what are our instructions today, sir? You have to unmute your microphone.
Right, got it. Okay. Hi, guys.
Hello. We're not in trouble, are we?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Excellent. Right. First question for you is, if we look at doing these projects, how are we going to get held up by council red tape?
The councils will probably be disappearing because in the new system, there's going to be a lot less people in government, about 10%. So a lot of the red tape will be disappearing.
Planning regulations, planning laws and all that are going to disappear?
That's all statute law, isn't it? It's not
Yeah.
common law.
That's right. It's statute laws set up by the Bar Association, which is run by the British Crown. Everything is going back to common law, and based in most countries will be based off of the United States Constitution.
Or Magna Carta in the UK.
And Magna Carta in the UK, which our Constitution is based off of. Okay. So everybody's
So
going to
how
be
long is it
using the
going to
same
take?
template.
Right. So how long is it going to take, do you think, before these rules and regulations get removed after?
Pretty quickly, because the government's going to collapse when GESARA comes in. And then we're going to have
collapsing pretty quick, but I can't see the local councils disappearing that quick.
Well, I say we're all new to this. We're going to find out what happens. It's very hard to say. Governments are disappearing. Councils, at least obviously you're still going to need someone to do the town planning and that kind of thing. So we will just have to see how this happens.
Most of the rules that were set up by town councils and whatnot were made to benefit big business and big corporations and line pockets of politicians and the people who are putting these rules together. Okay. They were not designed for the people for the most part. It was to create so much confusion that you had to have a lawyer in order to maneuver through everything. And the lawyers got paid more than anybody else.
Okay, that makes sense. The other question is, if everybody's going to be in a position where they've got more money than they need, how does that affect inflation and prices of goods? Because
inflation will disappear because everything will be one-to-one between countries and stuff like that. And inflation means that money loses its value.
Supply and demand is going to be the demand is going to be greater than the supply, surely.
Well, then more will be built, and more supply will be built.
Right.
Yeah, there are always going to be variations.
The thing that you're going to have to come into, the thing that you're going to have to come to realize is everything that we know right now, okay, from supply chain distribution and things of that nature, and how goods and services are marketed and also distributed around the world, is all going to change. All right. And what we're used to thinking and the way we're used to thinking about finance is all going to change.
Yeah, one of the 6,000 technologies is replicators. And they can actually take whatever, it's a bit like Star Trek, you know, they can just say tea Earl
Oh, I
Grey
like Star
hot,
Trek.
and then that's right. What did I say? Star Trek, like Star Trek. You know, so you say tea Earl Grey hot, and then there you go.
There it is.
So that could take away a lot of pressure on farms, and we wouldn't need the farms.
Well,
true.
Maybe you need to feed the machines. I don't know how that works. I mean, 3D printers also need raw materials.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay, guys. Thanks for your help. Cheers.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Em. Appreciate it. Make sure you put in a good word for us to the minister. Okay.
And great Q for me.
Exactly. All right, Miranda Van Halen, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, could you clarify what exactly is classed as a humanitarian project? And for example, I'll take just one example of one of my daughters. She adores cooking and food and getting very good food. If she was, which she wants, to make a sort of very nice food van, you know, the mobile food vans, and she wants to do very good quality food, as in healthy food that's made from good ingredients.
Yeah.
Can that be classed as a humanitarian project?
Feeding people is humanitarian, but to make it humanitarian, you could say you should have an aspect where you're feeding maybe people who don't have any food.
Okay.
Yeah. For example, you know, feeding the homeless, or feeding the, you know, whatever. That humanitarian is helping people who are not able to help themselves or whatever.
Right. Not setting up a business to make a profit on, but you know, a humanitarian project would be to give it away. Okay.
To give it away, providing a service for free, that you provide good food to them. You can also make a profit on it. You can also sell food normally, but you could say then a portion of the food which you make is given to these groups of people, as an example.
Okay.
Okay. And the second thing is, I'm still confused. I'm sorry, but supposing, okay, I have a 100 trillion Zim note.
Right.
Yes.
Description. Now, if I go in there, the projects I've got, I mean, I know I could think big because I've got several people's projects that I want to promote. And supposing it just takes 3 million to do those projects, does it mean that I will only get 3 million?
Well, you have to think bigger. Is it 3 million for a year to fund the project?
Okay, no, that's okay. What I really meant was, with this, okay, I've got the project, but what is there any of that Zim money that I can keep for my own personal use, like to buy a house or to buy a house?
Yes, absolutely.
For the $100 trillion Zim note, as we've mentioned, you will get 30 million. All right, for personal use.
30 million is for your personal use.
Wow.
But that's it. You don't get any more after that. So once you spent 30 million, then you're in trouble.
Right.
Okay. The last bit of it is, oh shit. Sorry.
Yes, exactly. That sounded French to me.
Yeah, when you say that it's going to be given out monthly, they won't pay it all at once. It's given out monthly, but okay, how much monthly? If somebody's going to buy a house, if you want to buy a house or for your children a house, which I do want to do, you know, how much would be given?
This you have to negotiate in your meeting. It could be that you say you need an initial sum to buy a house or whatever, and after that you need then a smaller sum each month. You can negotiate that.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Miranda. All right, Susan Surridge. Hello, Susan.
Hello.
Hello, Susan.
Yes, I just had a question. I have 3 state pensions from 3 different countries.
Okay.
So I'm just not sure how those are going to be paid out.
All right, pension. Whenever you're talking about pensions,
yes,
all right, there is a big question about pensions. All right, some pensions were set up with individual accounts.
Yeah.
All right, that have your name on them with a number. All right.
Are you in the UK?
Yeah, yes, I've got a UK pension, I've got a
Right.
New Zealand pension, and I've
Right.
got a small Danish pension.
Right. Okay. The problem is that the deep state has spent the pension money in the pension schemes, and so all the pension funds worldwide, I mean, maybe not every one, but a lot of them are just empty.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and the deep state has been hiding that by us using money which is coming in taxes to pay the pensions. But at some point they're going to say there's nothing there, we can't pay you anymore, end of story. That is being replaced by the new system where everybody gets a flat rate 5,000
Okay.
a month.
And so
Okay.
would that come from, that would come from where I'm living, I suppose, which is Denmark.
That would come from the QFS. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter where you live.
Okay. And the other question I had is to do with taxes, because I mean, in my life, I've had 3 name changes. So is that taken into account with the work that I've done over the years?
I've been told that you'll get the taxes you've paid back, but it may take a year or 2 for you to get all that money back, because they need to calculate it, and it won't be instantaneous that you get all your taxes back.
And so, but it's all sort of checked back from where I've worked in different places.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
It's all been documented. Yeah.
Yeah. They will, because they will have the documents. But what I'm hearing is you won't get it back straight away. They have to do a lot of calculating and working it out who gets what, and it could take a year or so for you to get your taxes all back.
All right. But thank you, Susan.
Thanks, both of you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. Norma.
Yeah.
Hello, Norma.
Hello. How are you? Thank you for all what you are doing.
All right. Thank you.
We just hope it helps. That's all.
Yes. Yes. At the beginning, I was not going to do any humanitarian, but then I thought, if I don't do that now, I will regret all my life, because I wanted to do, but on the other side, a lot of responsibility. But being in the construction industry, I helped build a lot of buildings for others. So I know the people. So I have it's like a challenge for me. I'm willing to do that. So I'm excited. I don't know how the size of what I want to do yet.
Well, if you're in construction, you could be housing the homeless.
Exactly.
Yes, that's the idea. And also I would like to combine with a community where I can they have farm, so they can grow their own food.
Right.
That's good.
Yes.
That's
and
good.
Also, after hearing you about the children, to teach them the art and
skills.
craft, yes, will be a good idea. I have to find this.
Okay.
So, and another thing I wanted to know, because if I have to do a project now with the current regulations, and then so which guidelines?
Well, the current regulation will probably no longer be applicable, because
we have to learn, update or what?
Yeah, well, we're moving into common law, so it's a different world.
Right.
We're all new
Basics
to
behind
that.
the basics behind common law is do no harm. Okay. As long as your construction projects are sound and whatnot, and you have a good basis of everything, and it doesn't cause any harm to property or to person, all right, over the long haul, that's going to be the important thing. Okay.
Yes, I was working 30 years and never had a claim for my insurance. So at the point, I like to make sure that things, and I have the correct colleagues where I was working with. So I think I can handle this, and also to delegate. It's quite exciting. So we have to update ourselves on this in regulation, I think, after common law.
Yeah, we all have to update.
So do we have a time after we get this project to the redemption center? we have to begin that, or is
we have 10 days to register for the redemption center meetings.
She's talking about afterwards. How long does she,
yes.
after she's got the funds and everything else, how long do you have in order to get your project up and running?
Well, that's
yeah, because I have to buy land.
Yeah, that's all part of your project. You just start. You don't have, you can do it. You do run your project for 100 years if you like, but
yeah, give them an estimate of it's going to take me a year to put all of this together in order to start, to get the project off the ground.
That should be in your business plan.
That should be in your business plan.
Okay? Yes. All right. Yes. All right. Yeah.
All right.
Another thing, I was reading a PDF that someone sent about where the same thing you put in you show today about the presentation. So yeah. I heard that they said in the redemption center, phones, the phone are not allowed. But if, on the other hand, if I have to go by Uber, for instance,
you can leave your phone outside the room where you go.
All right.
Oh, that's, most definitely.
Okay. You just don't take it into the meeting.
All right. We're going to have to hurry up here.
Yeah, because we're at 2.5 hours already. Yes, we need
to okay. We've got time for a few more. All right.
Well, say one or two more because we don't want to go to 3 hours again.
Yep, exactly. All right. Matthew Fotu.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Great. One of the things I was thinking of which I think is the project in itself, is to create a humanitarian hub. And I've looked at cost around the world, and there's one for 30 million in Panama. Is that something that's most likely be considered? My background's environmental science.
Yeah, why not?
So
30 million is payable.
Is that just to buy it?
Yeah, that's the capital cost, and obviously.
Okay, all right. Then find out what the operating costs are for a typical year, and then multiply that out by 25, 30 years.
That's right. You make a business plan, put all the numbers in there, present it. You'll probably get the money.
Okay.
Yes. Great. Thank you very much.
You're
all
welcome.
Right. Thank you, Matthew. We got time for two more here. Tamara Soria.
Hi.
Hi, Tamara.
I'll make it quick. So you're all talking about the trillion notes. I had a friend on this forum who gave me 300 billion Zim. Is that even going to be enough? Do I even bother?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
I have a good project.
Yeah. It's just less money.
If your project's worthwhile, they may give you more than what we're saying. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, they can be flexible on the exchange rate. So they can give you if you got less notes, they can give you a higher rate.
Okay.
All right, that's all.
But they just want you to do the job.
Exactly.
Right. Oh, I got it. Well, we already have the ranch up and running. It's a horse therapy ranch. I'm a licensed therapist, and I have an equine therapist. So, I mean, we just need funds so that we can get people out there to help them.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, write your plan and go to the meeting.
Yep. Okay. Exactly. All right. Okay. Grant.
It's an iPhone, not a Q phone.
Yep.
I'm unmuted.
There you go.
Hello, Grant.
Let me address that last lady. Sounds interesting what she's doing with horses. She can go on eBay, even still to today, and buy $100 trillion Zim, $300.
Yep.
Now, you said one thing that I want to get clear. We've got the project figured out. We got our budget figured out from fixed costs to annual cost. What I wanted to make sure I understood from your presentation today is it's going to be up to $30 million if you're doing right on $100 trillion Zim. Then you're going to take your dongs and dinars in there. I thought those were separate issues. Dongs and dinars.
They are separate. Yeah. So, dongs and dinars is just a money exchange. Whereas
it's a money exchange. Are they? So if you have 6 million dong, and the rate is 3 to 1, is that saying to me there's going to be 18 million USNs?
Sounds good.
Yep. We
Okay,
don't
how
know
are
the
they gonna
exact,
distribute- how are
we
they
don't
gonna
know the
distribute that?
exact exchange rate yet. So,
Right, I'm just using an example. Let's just use it
Yeah.
1-to-1. I got 6 million
Yeah.
dongs. I'm winding up with 6 million USNs.
yes.
How are they going to distribute that?
You get
That'll
a
be-
plastic card. It's a digital
Yep.
money.
Okay, now that's what I thought. So then I can move that digitally to a bank of my choice.
That's right. It's a digital money.
Correct.
Probably,
Yes.
probably USA or something like that here. I'm a
Yep.
former military, so whatever. Okay, that's all the questions I have. I'm not going to let somebody else have a turn. Bye.
Okay,
right.
one
You
more.
want one more? Okay.
Yep.
Amy Atkinson.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi,
Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Hi. Hey, no photo because I'm driving. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I did just want to say to the gentleman that called about the XRP and you guys doing like a session on that or bringing a specialist in.
Yeah.
I know MarkZ brought a specialist in and he did a whole show on it last weekend.
Ah,
All right. I'll have to
So-
find out who he
so
brought
we
in.
could recommend them to just watch that.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And then also, you know, my passion, of course, is autism because I have a son with autism. So I was wondering, since the military is in charge of the med beds, I was going to donate my Zim to, you know, just the cause of the med beds or bringing med beds into my area.
Yep.
But is that appropriate? Are they already funded? Since
They're
it's
already
handled through the
funded. They are already funded. Yes.
Okay, so then that would be a no-go. So then I guess I would consider, my cause then would be educating people about not vaccinating or supporting people.
Well,
that
the
run that cause.
vaccinations won't go anywhere, but there will also be a need for homeopathic medicine. All right.
Yeah.
You know, natural healing of different things and education.
Except the med beds will clear that up. That will be a short period.
But exactly. But in the meantime, you know, there's still going to be a need for certain medical treatments and whatnot.
Handling day-to-day things and
Right. But also re-educating people.
Yeah, I think education is a better way to go. Yeah.
All right. And setting up education centers so people can find out more about what is coming in the future. Okay.
Okay, great. Sounds good, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you like the show?
Love the show. Yeah.
All right.
Love you guys.
Thank
I
you.
talk to you all the time. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. All right. Well, Peter, we've run out of time. Okay.
That's right. Yes.
All right. And unfortunately, we didn't get to everybody here today.
Well, you never can.
No, we never can. But anyway, any final thoughts on today?
I think you know what, because I didn't know too much about it before I did the research, and there is certainly a system behind creating a business plan and getting things ready, and this is something we should think about, because the more professional we appear and the more passion we show for our projects, the more we're going to make an impression and the more we're going to get our projects approved. And I think there's a lot of good we can do to the world. And this is all about doing good, all about healing the world, because the world has been terribly treated by these bankers and what's happened. And we're here to heal the world, and that's what this is all about.
Exactly. Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed this Zoom here today, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. But thank you very much.
Quick.
Yeah, go.
Well, I just want to comment to Norma. There were lots of us that think you look like Celine Dion, and you are just so lovely. I hope you can sing as pretty as you are.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Thank you, matey. All right, but thank you all for showing up here today.
Thanks, Billy.
Wave bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Until next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Take care.
Good to see you all. Great chat today. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. God bless you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Hasta luego.
Later, Gators.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Hopefully
Bye.
the next time we meet, we'll be in a better place.
Yep, that's what I'm hoping for.
Bye-bye. Well, as it changes to the Millionaires Club soon, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Change it to the Millionaires Club.
Thanks for all you do.
Bye,
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 So long.